Now we select another randomly selected radar, and we want to know what's the probability that it's an A4 model given that it was built in the southeast. Okay? An A4 model if it was built in the southeast. So what we've observed is that it was built in the southeast. Now, what's the probability that it's an A4 model? Okay, so that would be written as, what's the probability that it's A4 given that we have information that it was built in the southeast? Okay, this is a conditional probability. And we know, let's just say in general, we know that the probability of A given B, based on our probability rules, is the probability of A intersect B divided by the probability of B. Okay, so we can implement this kind of rule here. This would be equal to the probability of A4 intersect southeast divided by the probability of southeast. Okay, so the probability of A4 intersect southeast, there are 23 of the A4 models that are built in the southeast. So the probability that we get a model that's both A4 and southeast at the same time, 23 out of 165. And the probability that we have a randomly chosen model that was built in the southeast, that is 23 plus 9 out of 165. Okay, so we take that column associated with the southeast region, the southeast factory, and we sum that up, and that gives us 41. 41 out of 165. Okay, those 165s cancel out, and we're left with 23 divided by 41. Okay, so what's the probability that given that we see that the model was made in the southeast, what's the probability that it was an A4 model? That is 0.561. Okay? So what does this notion of first viewing where it was made, how does that help us? How does that change the problem? Well, we're essentially limiting ourselves to just those 41 models made in the southeast, and we're not looking at all 165. What's the probability of A4 in general? We found this for the previous problem, and that is 64 out of 165. Okay? Or that probability is 0.388. So in general, what's the probability of seeing an A4 model? 0.388. Given that it was made in the southeast, what's the probability of seeing an A4 model? 0.561. Okay, so we're changing what we know about seeing an A4 by limiting what we're looking at. We're only looking at those made in the southeast. Okay, that's the key point behind a conditional probability problem. We're limiting what our focus is in a conditional probability problem. Given that we have information, what's the probability of some occurrence?